Alright guys, so today's video, before we actually look at the earbuds we're going to check out, I want to take a look at the company that makes these. Because if you're not familiar with the company Cleartune Monitors, I highly recommend checking out their website, which I will have linked in the description below, just simply to see some of the designs that they have on their in-ear monitors. They're just really unique looking. You'll also notice that you can even have them custom made to look however you want to, but you'll also notice that the pricing is not cheap. Starts out at around $250 for the triple driver version and goes all the way up to around $2,400 just for the 10 driver version. And if you have any of these custom made, the pricing goes up a little bit more from there. So when I saw that the company had a pair of true wireless earbuds, which are the Explore P2s, I was intrigued about a couple of things. I was curious to how much these were going to cost, but I was also curious to how unique of a design they would have. And to be honest, I was surprised by both, because the pricing on these only come in at $80, which I feel makes them really competitive with the rest of the market. And as far as the design goes, they're not flashy. They're not a pair that really stands out or has this unique look. So I want to take a look at some of the other specs. We need to see what all comes inside the box and actually see if they're worth the $80 price tag. Now, I do want to start with these are using dynamic full range drivers, which I'm going to go ahead and say this now, definitely delivers a full, rich sound. We will talk about that a little bit more when we talk about the audio. And as far as the technology, these are using a Realtek chip instead of a Qualcomm chip. And my experience with the Realtek chips have always been that there's been more focus on the audio quality. So in my opinion, that's another big plus. But as far as the Bluetooth version, it is 5.0 and it does have AAC and SBC playback. Now, if you're looking for a pair to use outdoors and the gym and things like that, these do come in rated at IPX6, which basically means they're going to be fine against splashes and rain and sweat and things like that. But this is not a pair that you want to submerge into water. Now, as far as what they've included inside the box, they actually include 2 sets of the small, medium, and large silicone ear tips. Now, I didn't notice any difference between both sets, so I really think they're just giving you a backup pair of ear tips for the ones that you may already be using. And then as far as the charging cable on here, they've included a USB-C cable. And speaking of the charging cable, battery life is pretty decent on these. On the earbuds themselves, we're going to get around 6 hours, where with the charging case, you're going to get around 30 hours total. And speaking of the charging case, it's a very bland looking case. Now, it is small and compact. It does not have Qi wireless charging or fast charging, so I am kind of disappointed that it doesn't have either one of those. Now on the back, you can see the USB-C input, and then around on the front, you can see the 4 indicator lights, and those are there just to let you know how much battery life is left on the case. And then moving over to looking at the earbuds, this is another area I was surprised at because one, the design is very small, which I know I see a lot in the comment section. There are people that are looking for small earbuds. This is definitely going to be one of those pairs. I also like the fact that they went with a silicone grippy material for the button location. And that just allows you to know exactly where the button is instead of feeling around the earbud. And the button allows you to control everything. So you do have your play, pause, skipping your tracks forward, going backwards, and volume control all by that one little button. Now, as far as using these individually, you can use either the left or the right. And then when it comes to the microphones, this is definitely an area where I can see people having some complaints. Because if you like to use your earbuds for phone calls, I felt like the mics had a very muffled sound to it. I think at times it was pretty hard to understand what I was saying, but you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here.
All right, guys, so here is the mic test using the Explore P2s. This is pretty bad. As far as audio quality, it's very muffled. It's really hard to kind of understand, but this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here's the mic test with the crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public.
So now let's talk about the sound, because the sound is definitely the star of the show. Having those full range drivers definitely delivered an overall rich sound. Now it is a little bit on the warmer side, which I'm a huge fan of. In fact, it just kind of makes things feel a little bit more natural. So I was very impressed with the bass presence. It is really tight, but it still has a really nice punch to it. And it allows there to be a lot of clarity in the mids and the highs, because I always felt like vocalists stood out really well. Male and female vocalists just had a lot of detail. And then as far as the treble, it just brought out a lot of details and cymbals. If you're going to be listening to metal or anything where there's drums, there was so much clarity in pop and hip hop, and even just listening to genres like easy listening and country and things like that, you can hear the strumming of the guitar. And with it having that warmer tone, it makes you feel more like you're in that environment that they're playing. And I think also adding that with the fact that it has a very open sound, and having those details and being able to tell where things are coming from, this pair surprisingly just nailed. And I think I was surprised because these are so tiny, and because the fact that they were just using dynamic drivers instead of multiple balanced armature drivers, which is what their IEMs use. So I think from an audio standpoint, it's going to be pleasing to most people, no matter what genre you listen to. But I still need to come back to the couple of cons that I have with these, because although microphones are not important to me, for those that like to use their earbuds for phone calls and things like that, the mics are pretty bad. I don't see many people being pleased with the microphones. And then really my only other complaint is I wish the case was either a Qi wireless charging case or had a fast charge feature. And that's more so just to compete with other earbuds in this price range, because I think from an audio standpoint, these definitely excel given their price. So really the only people that may not be interested in these are the people that use their earbuds more so for phone calls, or people that are more focused on features than they are audio quality, because audio quality is excellent and I have no reservations recommending them off audio alone. But guys, that's my video on the Cleartune Monitors Explore P2s. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.